For any Xbox or PlayStation codes or cheap games on any platform, use the referral link in the description. It'll take you to g2a.com. Use the promo code CHES over there and you'll get yourself 3% cash back. For all No Identity merchandise, hats, hoodies and t-shirts, follow the link in the description down below to the No Identity Fan Fibre website. Hey guys, welcome to episode number 13 of Season 5 of the Career Mode RTG. Hopefully today we can avoid any technical issues and I'll be able to record the video first time rather than have my computer blue screen, and fingers crossed the face cam footage doesn't corrupt like it did yesterday. And we'll be able to get 3 games in with a normal episode. Here's hoping. Thank you very much for all of the support recently on the channel, though. The Napoli career mode continues to go from strength to strength. There will be another episode of it this evening, so keep your eyes peeled for that at 6:30 today. In the RTG, we face Manchester United, Bayern Munich again, and West Ham United. So 2 huge games and 1 sizable tie at home against West Ham. So we'll have to have our fingers crossed we can continue to get points that we have recently been getting in the Premier League. We are currently unbeaten. West Ham are 9th. Man United are 7th. So they're both having a similar season so far. There's only 3 points between them. Arsenal still level on points with the teams in the relegation zone. Don't know why, but they are. So we're just going to have to become accustomed to that, apparently. But we're going to have a trip to Old Trafford. I'd very much like to pick up 3 points there as well, if we can. Tottenham keep staying pace, or keep up the pace with me. Or keeping up the pace with me. You know what I mean? Every time we win, they win. The gap is still 3 points, and has been for a considerable period of time. But we're going to travel. We'll play in the home kit. We're going to travel away from home to Old Trafford with our full-strength starting lineup, now that we know that we don't need any sort of result whatsoever against Bayern Munich, so I can play the kids against Bayern Munich and try my best, and then we can play a full-strength side here against Manchester United at Old Trafford and against West Ham. So we concentrate on the Premier League. Fingers crossed, everything goes according to plan. And someone did ask me in the last, it may have been in the last episode or the episode before, to, now once the Champions League groups are finished, actually go through and show you the final standings in all of those Champions League groups. So I will do that at the end of today's episode, so you can see who finished where in the Champions League, and I'll do the Europa League as well, providing that that's finished too. So that'll be something extra for us to end on. But for now, we're going to concentrate on Manchester United away, and hopefully a decent result, although we'll have to wait and see. In the settings, before recording this video, in fact yesterday actually, which is why I haven't changed it back, I changed the commentary language to Italian for the Napoli series. Last year when I did AC Milan, I switched the commentary, the in-game commentary, to Italian to give it more of an Italian Serie A style feel. So I did that yesterday, intending to obviously record a Napoli episode, which I will do after I've recorded this one, but I forgot to change it back to English before recording this video. So in future, that's a reminder to make sure that I check the commentary language before recording a video, because this is now going to be Manchester United versus Cambridge United with Italian in-game commentary in the background. So yeah, that's going to be a thing. Just so you're aware, because I could have left it and left you guys completely perplexed as to why there was some Italian commentary in the background, but I thought I'd better explain it. So that's the reason why. So for the Napoli series, there will be Italian commentary from here on out, starting from tonight's episode onwards. But obviously, because this one goes out first, I'm recording this one before that one, but forgot to change the commentary language back. So Italian commentary in the background. Is Anthony Martial on the left-hand side for United in the 32nd minute. Trying to slow his progress, which we've done well. And Borthwick Jackson loses out to Vincent Janssen, but then he just gives up on the... Not Vincent Janssen, it's Janssen that gets onto the ball. Lost out to Mitchell Weiser, but Weiser just locked off the ball for some reason. Schneidlin with a shot. Manchester United's first chance of the game is an absolutely wild strike from the Frenchman that causes me no problems whatsoever. Let's tackle from Paredes. Vincent Janssen shows good strength, gets it to Rooney, round the corner to Schneidlin. Oh God, I've overcommitted there. Seemingly their most influential player in this game so far, Schneidlin, and well, Mkhitaryan couldn't have hit that harder if he tried, could he? If that had flown into the top of the net, it might have actually gone through it. Jeeps, he hit that hard. Bang, the power on that was ridiculous. Thankfully, it was wide of the target, although it may have knocked a fan out in the stands. Here's Rooney, turns on the edge of the box. skips past a couple of challenges and then kicks it straight against his teammate, but it's dropped to Schneidlin, who squares it to Mkhitaryan. Oh, what a save from Watson off the bar. Martial heads on target, but Watson saves the second time around. That was a ridiculous save from Aidan Watson. I'm pretty sure we should be 1-0 down there. He should have buried that Mkhitaryan, but thankfully our keeper comes up with a great reaction stop. It's not the first time he's done that either. He's turning out to be quite the goalkeeper for us here this season, Aidan Watson. We have the best defensive record in the league, and clearly, because I'm not playing very well defensively the past few days, we have my goalkeeper to thank for that. That was a ridiculous stop. It's still 0-0, and presumably it will be at the end of this first half as we head into stoppage time now. Gibbs with a throw, just to ensure that we keep possession. United are playing quite a high pressure game. Not quite as high pressure as Benfica were the other day, but still, they are closing me down quickly each and every time a player gets into the possession. So it's kind of rushing me, and my pass accuracy has taken a hit because of it. And as such, my build-up play has taken a hit because of it as well. And they're actually using it to their advantage, Man United. They've definitely dominated the game to this point. If it weren't for that save in the first half, almost certain we would have been 1-0 down. But Watson saves, or claims that quite comfortably. I'd take a point here against Man United away from home, I have to be honest, especially the way that I've been playing so far. But we have played quite poorly for a while and still found ourselves winning games. So I'd like to keep that up if I possibly can. Trippier with a throw. Paredes, Sanchez. Oh, caught from behind by Pogba. He's come on as a substitute, but it was a clean tackle. And Paul Pogba trying to work some space here, and Greco just outmuscles him. Not sure how, because it's not like Greco's got an abundance of strength. That's a lovely swept first-time ball over the top here to Morata, who's in behind. Bailly trying to close me down. Bailly is very quick, of course. Get this into the middle, and Navarrete with a first-time shot. Good save from Casteels. That was headed towards the top corner. Lino Navarrete will take the corner himself. Renato's underneath it, maybe. No Schneidlin. Morata with potentially the worst shot he's ever had for us. And the keeper just punches it clear. Oh, the footwork there from Martial. It was almost a miscontrol that actually beat Greco there. And here they come on the counter-attack. Try and slow him down, which we've done well. Half an hour to play. 0-0. Calvert into Pogba. In some space. Hits the outside the post. Paul Pogba coming the closest of either side so far. That one didn't need a tip onto the post from the goalkeeper. It hit it all of its own accord. Thankfully hit the outside the post and went wide. I'm kind of walking on thin ice here against Manchester United. They are getting closer and closer to scoring the first goal of the game. Oh, that's a free kick. The referee, oh no, he did play advantage. I didn't think he did, but even though he did, I still didn't get the advantage because I tried to pass that inside. It went to pass backwards. I lost possession and still didn't get the free kick. Sanchez into Paredes. Cross there to Lino Navarrete. Morata's making the run. We timed the pass well enough, but Damian timed the tackle well enough as well. And, oh wow, it's just ping-ponging about there on the edge of the box. And here come United on the counter-attack. Thankfully, they haven't got many men forward. And Trippier actually puts in a very good tackle on Pogba there. Morata, that was meant for Navarrete, but never mind. Paredes, going to have to go back central because Weissel was slow in arriving. That's a foul, is it? It is. A chance in stoppage time. Is that close enough to shoot? Oh, I'm not sure. It's a good 30 yards, isn't it? About 30? We'll find out. I'll switch to this view. It is 33. I'm going to have to pass this, aren't I? The referee's telling the wall off. I'm going to give it short. I'm going to give it short here to Paredes and then try and play it into the box. And do that. Oh, but Schneidlin's there to clear it away. Right. Can we have one final chance before the end of the game? See the gap there for Morata. Renato's there. Morata's gone again and we'll hit it early. Oh, Casteels with a top save. That was destined for the top corner. Luke Shaw can't keep it in. And we'll have the corner. Can we win it with the last kick of the game? It's a decent corner. Oh, but headed wide. No, it took a deflection off Luke Shaw. Another corner. Navarrete, more power on this one. Whipped towards the edge of the 6-yard box. The keeper punches. Win that header. Get it forward. Don't blow your whistle yet, ref. Which is exactly what he has done. It's a 0-0 draw away from home at Old Trafford. They hit the bar and the post. And their keeper made a couple of top saves as well. But on balance of play, I think a draw is probably adequate. And Spurs match our result as well in a North London derby. So the gap at the top is still 3 points. We drop points, but Spurs can't take advantage. Although a couple of the teams further below us may have actually closed the gap on the two of us at the top of the table slightly. So we'll have to wait and see if that actually happens. But we will head into this game against Bayern Munich next. and I'll play a full rotation side, considering we don't need to get any sort of points haul to ensure our progression through to the next round. We did that in the last game against Benfica in yesterday's episode. Here's Thomas Müller down the right-hand side. Pulls it back. Oh, nice interception by Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Loftus-Cheek playing at CDM in this one, with Lozano at cam and Jamie McLaren up top, able to give Lozano and McLaren both a start for the first time together for quite a while. Oh, I couldn't quite poke that there to Ruben. He might be in a more deeper role in this game, but obviously liking to still push forward. Be a good battle for pace, actually, between Bradley Halliday and Douglas Costa, but Halliday comes out on top. For some reason, Eric Dyer's first touch is atrocious, and Eric Dyer won't win a foot race against Douglas Costa, but he does win the battle for strength. Oh, but I can't seem to keep hold of possession for some reason. Continue back to Lewandowski. That was on target. Oh, I should have played Cooper in goal, shouldn't I? I've changed everyone but the goalkeeper for this one. Never mind. Cooper can play in the game against West Ham if I remember to play him in it. And to be fair, I'll probably just leave the commentary now as Italian, because no doubt I'll change it back now for the game against West Ham and then forget to change it back to Italian for the episode that I'm going to record against Napoli. So I'll leave the commentary in Italian for this episode, but for future episodes I will make sure that I change the commentary back to English before recording any of the Cambridge United episode or series. Oh, we go. Missed that header. We'll try again. And up we go, and Badstuber heads over for a corner to me. I didn't win either of those headers. Mbappe with the corner. Can we win this one? Yes, we can, but it's straight at Neuer. Nice ball down the line there to Douglas Costa. Could cross it in. It's decided against it. Lahm will give that there to Badstuber. Not renowned for his crossing ability, but thankfully that's come out to Lozano there, because the keeper had committed to coming to claim that and got nowhere near it. And had that dropped to a Bayern Munich player, they might have been able to score a rather fancy goal from outside the box with a shot from distance. Get that out wide here to Bradley Halliday. This is actually a really nice move, and the cross is blocked well by Badstuber and will be a corner to us. Ball pinging around at both ends of the pitch so far. McLaren's won that header, but this one over the top of the bar. Here's Müller. Turns well into Lewandowski. Back to Serge Aurier, to Balanta, to Philipp Lahm. Lahm getting very heavily involved in forward areas in this game, and thankfully the referee didn't deem that a foul. I'm going to play this over the top, and I quite fancy Jamie McLaren to get away from the defenders here. He's taking that in his stride very well. Turn inside one and beat the second man to it as well, and then pull this back. Oh, it wasn't the best of balls. Eric Dyer gets the turn in and the shot, and needed saving from Manuel Neuer. Got the shot off almost perfectly there, trying to pull it back towards that far post, and the keeper did well to get up to it, or down to it as it happens. Thomas Müller turns, still loses the ball, and have to rely on Serge Aurier's expert interceptions there to ensure that we didn't have another effort on target. Philipp Lahm involved again. Lewandowski. Bayern have been good in this one, but so far my rotation team has been just as good. Very pleased so far with how this team's been performing. Antonio with the throw. Eric Dyer will just flick this backwards. Ruben Loftus-Cheek cross there to Mbappe, round the corner to Jamie McLaren. Pull it back across goal is not what he decided to do there. I tried to wrap my foot around it and get it to come across this near side, but unfortunately just couldn't quite wrap his foot around it enough. And it went wide. Running down the line there to Balanta. I was trying to outmuscle him, but clearly Davinson Sanchez wasn't strong enough. Halliday works that away. Dyer runs into Arturo Vidal, who smacks it into the net to make him pay for the mistake. 1-0 Bayern Munich with 20 minutes to go. Arturo Vidal's come off the bench and immediately had an impact. Bit of a flamboyant celebration, but never mind. Bayern Munich will take a 1-0 lead here, 20 minutes from time. There is still plenty of time to get ourselves an equaliser. Probably should have made the substitution before kicking off, but never mind. Let's bring on Renato Sanchez in midfield. And we will also bring on Roussillon. Let's just quickly compare. Who has better... Well, better physicality is clearly in Rico Henry's favour, at least with pace, but crossing-wise, Roussillon has decent crossing, so I'll leave Roussillon on the left-hand side of midfield. We'll be quite defensive on that left-hand side, but it might actually work in our favour, because Roussillon loves to get forward anyway, as we know, as we've seen since purchasing him. So maybe he can be a good makeshift left-sided midfielder, because Mbappe just hasn't done very well against Serge Aurier. McLaren tried to loft that to try and find to try and find Lozano, but it didn't work. Still time to get an equaliser, but we are going to have to try and do it Sharpish. Muller back to Serge Aurier to Balanta. Get the foot in. Get the foot in. Nice tackle by Eric Dyer. Lozano's there. Jamie McLaren keeps himself onside. Gonna have to take a shot early as everyone's arriving, and Manuel Neuer makes the save, as probably I could have predicted. Corner to come in though. It's a decent delivery. Neuer's come to punch. Harry Darling's there on the edge of the box. He's not going to be shooting it in from 40 yards, and unfortunately got caught in there by Douglas Costa. But Halliday far too quick for Kimmich. Couldn't react in time. Was able to react in time that time around though, wasn't he, to get the tackle in. And Bayern Munich come away, but strength there from Eric Dyer, but apparently too much strength. An illegal amount of force. Karsdorp with a throw for Munich. They've been trying to keep it in. Stop with the fake throws. They've been trying to keep it in the corner for the past couple of moments. Clearly they're quite happy with their 1-0 lead and reckon that they want to sit on it to try and maintain top of the group status, which they most definitely will have now because it's 2-0. They held it in the corner since like the 82nd minute, and obviously when the CPU decides it wants to hold it in the corner, it's particularly difficult to get it off them, especially when you're playing against Bayern. But what a finish, by the way. Bending it around the defender into that far corner. That's especially whilst being tugged out on his shirt. That's a great goal. Joshua Kimmich makes it Bayern 2, Cambridge 0. We may have been extremely unfortunate with the way that we lost to them in the first game against them in the group stage with that ridiculous own goal, but they deserve the win from this one. Neuer's made some good saves. It's not like we haven't had chances to try and get the goals, but we unfortunately just haven't been good enough against Bayern Munich in this one. We tried our best, and our best wasn't enough to get ourselves the victory. So Bayern will be winning the group and topping it on 16 points, I think. And then we will be finishing second on 10, and Benfica will be on... No, we're on 12. And then Benfica will be on either 5 or... No, they're on 5 already. What are we on? No, we are on 10, aren't we? So we're going to finish on 10. Benfica will be on either 5, 6 or 8, depending on what the result is for them against Standard Liège, which is a 2-1 victory. So Benfica will be on 8 points, we will be on 10 points, and Bayern Munich will be on 16. Completely dominant in that group stage. We'll go and play the final game of the episode against West Ham, and then we'll come back and I'll give you a run through of how all of the groups finished in both the Champions League and in the Europa League as well. We get £18.5 million for getting through to the next round, which I believe that just said will be added to our transfer budget, which would be superb if it is. Or is that for next season? Yes, it's for next season. That sucks, because our budget at present is only about £10 million, so there's not much we can do with that in the window, although I am contemplating selling Bradley Halliday or Kieran Trippier to replace one of them at right back. So there is something we can do in the upcoming January transfer window, but for now we're going to concentrate on West Ham. Throw for West Ham. Robertson back to Rowe, forward into Pedro Obiang. Back to Robertson again. Trippier tried to get there but couldn't, and John Stones heads behind only for a West Ham corner here after 6 minutes. Andre Ayew to stand it up into the middle eventually, there we go. And headed clear by Renato Sanchez, but only as far as Pedro Obiang, who can hit them from distance if needs be. Rashford has the first chance of the game though, and then puts in a tackle. Might be instrumental in the second chance, and he is, but Andre Ayew fires that past the post, thankfully. 0-0 after 8 minutes. Corner to come in from Andre Ayew on that far side. Stands it up, whips it in, and headed behind by Kieran Gibbs. There'll be another corner on this side for Andre Ayew to put into the box. 10 minutes to go till half-time. In comes the delivery. Up goes John Stones, and he's chested it for some reason, despite the fact I told him to clear that. I hate that that happens in FIFA 17. It happens at both ends of the box as well. Crosses or corners will come in. You'll press B to clear or shoot, and they'll chest it down and then try and carry out the action that you've told them to, which just isn't good enough. Thankfully, it didn't cost us in that situation, but it could have done because he had players around him there that could have just swept that home. Really frustrating animation when that happens, but Visor here, I thought Trippier was arriving. I get a little bit lucky there that the pass actually did find him, but then Andrew Robertson takes it off me anyway, so I still lose possession. 5 minutes to go till half-time. 0-0 the score so far. A draw against Man United, a defeat against Bayern. I'd like to win this one if possible. Navarrete with the turn. Morata is there down the line. It's my only real option, to be fair. Denial Henry with me. Turn his side nicely. And there's Paredes. Oh, I was hoping Renato Sanchez was going to keep that run going, but we will find Nicola Greco, and he's turned well and surely will tuck this away, and has done. We at last have ourselves a 1-0 lead in this one. Nicely slotted home into that bottom corner there from Nicola Greco. Cambridge 1, West Ham United 0 here. Greco's actually been stepping up to the plate with some goals so far this season. It's definitely the best season he's had for us so far. He's 88 rated now and playing very, very well. Cambridge 1, West Ham 0 with half an hour to go. Trippier inside there to Navarrete. Spin on it. He's done well. Sanchez into Greco. I'm going to cut back. Sanchez made a great run. Go on, let's have a crack from distance. Oh, I thought for a minute that was destined for the top corner, but it was actually probably a couple of feet wide. Never mind. We'll stay at 1-0 for now. Rashford not strong enough to hold off Sanchez. We'll go to Sanchez again first and through to Ruben Loftus-Cheek here, who's in behind, and will turn inside and then look for Morata, who shrugs off the defender, gets crunched. Penalty, just as Bayern Munich made it 2-0 in the last few moments. It looks like we are about to do the same. The referee's like, you gave me no choice, Sam, which he didn't. Completely scored him, went the other way, he wasn't ready for it. Alvaro Morata scored his first goal for the club from the penalty spot, and he scores another here. Cambridge United 2, West Ham United 0. We will be getting all 3 points from this one. Trippier with the tackle. The referee probably won't be long in blowing his final whistle, to be fair. But Trippier's just continuing to go here. We'll slot it into Weiser. And across here, it's Greco on the far side. And Nicola Greco is 3. It took me ages to score the first. Took another half an hour to score the second. We only got it from the penalty spot. And then West Ham, for some reason, just completely fall apart at the back. And we get a third. Not sure we deserve a 3-0 scoreline, but a 3-0 scoreline is what we get. And there is the final whistle. 3 goals, 3 points. Marcus Rashford able to do nothing for them going the other way. Wow. We scored from every single one of our shots on target, and they had exactly the same amount of shots on target as us, but didn't score a single one of them. Liverpool with a 2-1 win over Watford. We'll have a look at the league table. I'll also show you those Champions League groups as well, and the Europa League groups, as I mentioned that I would. But drop the video a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel too, to make sure you don't miss out. Hit that notification bell, and you'll get a little alert every single time that a video goes live. And of course, there will be a Napoli episode later on today. Arsenal have rocketed up to 14th, but Manchester City have plummeted down to 15th, so never mind. Everton were challenging for the title last year and are now 18th, so that makes sense. But we are 5 points clear at the top. Tottenham have drawn a couple of games here, and that's actually, in fact, they've drawn both. We went from 33 to 37, they've gone from 30 to 32, so they've drawn both of their games today. We drew one and won one. So we are still undefeated after 15 games as we head towards the halfway point in the season. Liverpool 3rd, Palace 4th, Stoke in 5th. Very tight there for 4th place with Chelsea, Manchester United there in the hunting pack as well. We'll have a look and see what the Champions League groups looks like. It might take a while for the menus to get there, so apologies if it does take a while. But like I say, do let me know in the comment section if you're enjoying this series. Of course, as you can see there, the semi-final stages about to take place in the upcoming January transfer window for the Football League Cup. Of course, it's 2 legs, isn't it, in the semi-finals of that competition. The FA Cup actually may have been drawn already. I'm not sure. You can see the draw here for the Champions League. We have, lol, you couldn't have scripted it. We have Napoli in the knockout stages of the Champions League. That's interesting. So as we take Napoli into the Champions League in the other series, we face them in this one. Wow. PSG won their group, Inter 2nd, PSV 3rd in theirs, and Galatasaray finishing 4th. Napoli won their group with 13 points. Dortmund lose out and will be in the knockout stages of the Europa League. Sevilla go through in that group and Rangers get knocked out. Barcelona and Milan, you would have expected them to go through in that group. Trabzonspor missing out on European football for Sporting to go through to the Europa League by -1 goal difference. That's our group. Standard Liège. I mean, I'll check actually in the... I should be able to check, shouldn't I, in the team stats, whether Standard Liège actually have a goalkeeper at all. Atletico Madrid won all 6 of their games, and Rasenballsport Salzburg finish... No, it's Red Bull Salzburg, isn't it? It's Rasenballsport Leipzig. Red Bull Salzburg finish with just the 1 win, and AS Monaco go through at the expense of Wolfsburg, but Monaco are a decent side this year, of course. Juve go through, and Manchester United go through, with Feyenoord and Porto going out. Real Madrid and Chelsea are both through, with Krasnodar and Lyon going out. And it'll be Krasnodar that have gone through on head-to-head against Lyon. Clearly, as their goal difference is nowhere near as good, but they must have beaten Lyon in the game that they won to go through against them. And Tottenham have gone through. Mönchengladbach finished second, with Valencia there in third as well. Who was that in fourth? FC Basel. Right. Quickly check the Europa League groups as well, and then we'll have a look and see if Standard Liège actually own a goalkeeper. If it eventually changes tab. Come on, game. You can do it. It's not that hard. There we go. And we'll switch to the table view, which will probably take a moment as well. I apologise that this happens, but I don't code the game, so it's not my fault. Slightly boring. There we go. Villarreal, Anderlecht and Celtic will... No, Celtic will go out. It's Europa League, isn't it? So Celtic out, as well as Malmo. Villarreal and Anderlecht through. Malaga and Fenerbahce through. Zenit St. Petersburg and Stade Rennais also through. CSK Moscow and Betis through. Arsenal are through in the Europa League. ASSE, which is obviously St Etienne, are through as well. Leverkusen and Besiktas are through in their group, with Spartak Moscow missing out by a single point. Hamburg and Torino also through. We see Lille and West Ham in the knockout stages. Manchester City win their group quite convincingly. Everton through by winning their group on goal difference ahead of Shakhtar. Schalke are through in their group, as well as Olympiacos, Roma and Ajax through in Group L. And that is how the Europa League looks. Let's have a quick look at the team stats so we can see if Standard Liège do actually have a goalkeeper in their ranks, or whether they've actually just not got a goalkeeper at all. Be quite unusual if they don't have any goalkeepers. Let's have a look. Where are they? Standard Liège. Yep. Standard Liège don't have a single goalkeeper at the club. How can that happen? How can that happen? What is wrong with you, game? They don't own a single goalkeeper at Standard Liège. That is ludicrous. Make of that what you will. That's all for today's episode. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you keep your eyes peeled for Napoli later, and I'll see you then.